In front, power move. A one-time shot, he scores! Milwaukee, another breakaway shot. Goes for the goal. He scores! Rich got it. They score! Seals the deal!
Hello and welcome to Gulls All Access presented by California Coast Credit Union. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney. A recent trip to Charlotte, North Carolina provided a trip down memory lane for one former Charlotte Checker, Trevor Carrick.
Follow along with us as Trevor shows us his old stomping grounds in the city that he helped bring a Calder Cup championship to back in 2019.
Here's an empty net. Shot! Score! It's gonna happen! It's gonna happen tonight for the first time in franchise history. The Charlotte Checkers are Calder Cup champions! Raise it high! Calder Cup champions! They've done it. What a beautiful sight. What a beautiful sight. The Charlotte Checkers have done it. Checkers win the Calder Cup 2019. This one will last forever.
It's one of those cities where it's a big city, but it feels so small here, and it brings back some good memories. I used to live just two blocks down there, and spent a lot of my time here in the uptown part of the city, and it's a special city. It's crazy. I feel like every time I come here, it's growing. There's new restaurants and just so much to do around here. I grew up here. I came here as a 19, 20-year-old kid and didn't really know much about life. And I'm living on my own with McGinn, and I remember Kyle Hagel, an older guy we played with. We went over for dinner one night, and he taught us how to make guacamole. And I remember me and Ginner, we just made guacamole every single night for like the first few months, and just like little things like that, you just kind of learn how to take care of yourself and really be a professional, and couldn't really been in a better city to do that. This is the French Quarter. Like I've touched on, it brings back so many memories. I mean, especially that last year winning the Calder Cup. I think the best part about that was coming here with the cup and bringing it to our favorite bars and restaurants, and just getting to share it with some of the people we got to meet down here and became close with. So it was just such a close team, and that's why you have success. And I feel like that team, I mean, there was a lot of good leaders on that team. The older guys were unbelievable, and we actually had a fairly younger team too, and those guys they were unreal too. And it's great seeing the success that they're having from that and because of that. And the run was special. It was just such a great group of guys, and I'm looking forward to this weekend to reconnect. It's great coming back here. I love the city so much, and there's so many good spots around here. Are we going in this one?
Yeah, let's go in.
Check her out. It's a little chilly out here though. I might have to go hot. I'll just do a black hot coffee, please. The Charlotte Checkers, yeah.
Yeah. Let's play some hockey puck.
Some hockey puck. Thank you, appreciate it. The best coffee in town right here.
Yeah. My story.
Yeah.
It's now our story.
Our story.
All right? It's now
That's
our
right.
story.
Thank you, appreciate it. That's just the Southern hospitality around here. Everyone's just, what's it called?
It's called My Story.
Oh, My Story. I was wondering why she's saying that. My Story. Coming down here, you really have no idea what to expect, especially being a southern team, and that Bojangles Coliseum. It gets loud in there. They're fun. They come out and cheer loud. And I think when you win, like we did, it's just it was just so nice just sharing that with them, and I think it just gives you that extra, special bond with them, and it was nice providing them with that. But we really don't do that without their support, and the city has provided me with so much, and every time I come back here, it brings back so many good memories, and I joke with my wife all the time that we could live here. Like could easily live here. It's such a great city, and I know every time I'm back here for the rest of my life, it's just a special spot.
The San Diego Gulls are the Anaheim Ducks' primary development affiliate in the American Hockey League. San Diego is in its 9th season of preparing talent for the National Hockey League, and there have now been 85 players who have played for both the Gulls and Ducks. The NHL season well underway, it's time to check in on the big club in a segment we call Gulls Grads.
And he just rips it up top. What a perfect shot.
The Ducks began the 2023-24 season on October 14th with 10 former Gulls on their roster, including forward Sam Carrick.
Sam Carrick in Anaheim has the first goal.
Bo Grew, Max Jones, Mason McTavish, Troy Terry, defenseman Jamie Drysdale, and Urho Vakanainen, and Trevor Zegras.
Zegras with the shot, his first of the year, and that is a backbreaker here.
And both goaltenders, Lukáš Dostal and John Gibson.
The man in front redirected right on by Crosby, and a great save by Dostal.
These Gulls grads jumped out to a torrid pace, helping the Ducks to a 6-game winning streak from October 24th to November 5th. The club swept a 4-game road trip and became the second team in NHL history to win 6 straight games that included third-period comebacks in 5 of their victories.
Up to the stick, it's a double deflection, and it's perfect. Up into the top corner.
Goaltender Lukáš Dostal earning Rookie of the Month honors for October after he led all rookie netminders with 4 wins in 5 appearances, while posting a 2.79 goals against average and a .921 save percentage, while leading rookie goalies with 151 saves.
Aho hands it off. Great save, Dostal!
Forward Mason McTavish was named 3rd star of the week during the Ducks' 6-game winning streak with 3 goals and 5 points in the week ending November 5th. McTavish figured in on all 3 of the Ducks' deciding goals that week to help the club rally for 3 come-from-behind victories.
You want to talk about the future of the Ducks? How about this goal? McTavish.
In just his 2nd NHL season, McTavish is averaging a point per game and leads the Ducks in scoring with 21 points in his first 21 games. Troy Terry became the first Ducks forward in team history to complete a hat trick with an overtime goal in Anaheim's 4-3 win over Arizona on November 1st.
Mason McTavish to Terry. Score! Hat trick overtime. Game winner.
Terry joins Lubomir Wisnowski, Hampus Lindholm, and Cam Fowler as the only Ducks skaters to complete this feat. Terry's 5 goals and 13 points through the first 21 games is top 5 amongst Ducks skaters. With this season's addition of Tristan Luneau, now all 9 Gulls grad skaters have earned at least 1 point for the Anaheim Ducks, while the Gulls grads duo and net have combined for 9 wins on the young season.
Coming up, we're joined by Gulls goaltender Alex Stalock to discuss his journey and the adversity he's faced throughout his hockey career. Right here on Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union.
Join the San Diego Gulls as we celebrate Winter Wonderland Night featuring Teddy Bear Toss on Saturday, December 16th at 6 p.m. Arrive early at 4 p.m. for a holiday-themed tailgate featuring photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus, live reindeer, Christmas carolers, and real snow. Be one of the first 8,000 fans to arrive and get a free Gulls Hawaiian shirt. The fun continues when we shower the ice with teddy bears after your Gulls score the first goal of the evening. Secure your seats now at sandiegogulls.com/tickets.
Injuries and adversity are part of hockey, and Gulls goaltender Alex Stalock has faced more than most. Whether it was just getting his pro career started or as an NHL veteran, Alex never quit on his dreams.
Nathan MacKinnon, rebound in the air and somehow knocked out of an open net.
What a save by Alex Stalock.
I sat down with the veteran netminder to discuss his battles to get back on the ice and his new role as a mentor to the organization's young crop of goaltending talent.
Well, having a goalie be a veteran on your team, 36 years old, professional goalie.
Into the zone they come. It's Turcotte moving in. Denied! As Stalock slams the door.
They have a professional mentor for their younger guys.
Connor Lanius looking for Doty. Comes to the point. Slap shot. Hickett save made.
He's a guy that's been there and done that, not just for the goalies, but helps out on the defense.
Leaves it left side out to the slot. Glove save!
It's like having an extra coach in the lineup.
Today we welcome San Diego Gulls goaltender Alex Stalock to the program. Alex, welcome to San Diego.
Thanks for having me.
So, what are your impressions of San Diego so far?
Beautiful. It's definitely a lot different than my hometown of Minnesota, and the weather doesn't change as much, that's for sure. And I don't have to buy a shovel, so that's always a positive.
It's your 15th professional year. What keeps you going? What keeps you playing hockey?
Coming to the rink and being around the guys, and fortunately this year we have a youthful group, so that's exciting. You see the new youth, the new skill coming into the game, and the talent level with those kids is unbelievable. And
how did you get into hockey growing up in Minnesota? Was there anybody that really influenced you to get into it and turn this into a career?
I think my big brother obviously was a huge part in that. Not only me playing hockey, but probably playing goalie. He needed someone to shoot on, and in order to play with him and his friends, I had to play goalie. And fortunately, or whatever way you look at it, unfortunately for me, I got stuck in the net and never worked my way out of it. But I think it worked out.
Drafted by the San Jose Sharks. What do you remember about that day and for you, your family, and remember about that special opportunity?
I interviewed with one team, and it happened to be the New Jersey Devils at the time. And they ended up taking a fellow Minnesota goalie that played at the University of Minnesota, Jeff Frazee. And so I saw that, and I said, there's no way I'm going to get drafted. And I was up at a friend's cabin and spent the weekend up there, and found out, the next morning that I got picked by the San Jose Sharks. And at the time, you don't know how the whole business side works, but where the heck did San Jose watch Alex Stalock play hockey? Where did they have a scout that saw me play? And San Jose has hockey. Where is San Jose on the map? And I found out that it was an unbelievable organization. I was very, very fortunate to get up there and probably walk into, still to this day, I think one of the best locker rooms that has been assembled in the recent NHL.
You would have worked with former Gulls head coach Roy Sommer. What did you learn from him? What was it like to play under Roy Sommer and get your career started?
Roy was awesome. Still to this day, I still keep in touch with him. And obviously the whole family. Everybody knows the whole family and how important Roy is. Obviously Melissa, but Mo is obviously a huge part of that. And to come to the rink every day, Roy wanted one thing, and that was work ethic. He wanted you to push it. He wanted you to play hard and compete, and the rest will take care of itself. And he made it a ton of fun. And a few times you're like, wow, this is pro hockey, this is fun, I love this. And he made it fun to come to the rink. And don't get me wrong, there was hard days. There was days where we had a tough loss or two, and it wasn't fun to come to the rink. And thank God we had Mo. But it was a good way to come into pro hockey, let's say that, to have Roy and work hard, and we'll get it done.
Coming up, Gulls players swap their sticks for some clubs at the annual San Diego Gulls Golf Classic. And we'll have part 2 of our interview with Alex Stalock, right here on Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union.
Give the gift of hockey with the San Diego Gulls Holiday Pack. Get 4 flex tickets to any 2023-24 Gulls home game and a Gulls blanket starting at only $114. Purchase before December 22nd and get 2 free tickets to Country Night on January 13th. For more information and to purchase your holiday pack today, visit sandiegogulls.com/holidaypack.
The organization held its 7th annual San Diego Gulls Golf Classic November 13th at Twin Oaks Golf Course.
Today we're at the San Diego Gulls Golf Classic, which is our largest fundraiser of the year and brings in funds to help support our programming in the community and support our community partners throughout the year as well. This event's really important because without this event and the money that it brings in, we couldn't do those things.
The San Diego Gulls Golf Classic allows the organization to continue its support of the community through educational programming, outreach activities, and grants.
Not only is it our biggest fundraiser of the year, but I definitely think it's the most fun by far. It brings together all of our biggest supporters. Everybody gets a chance to golf alongside a player or a coach, which is really a unique opportunity, and hopefully everybody has a great time.
Let's go!
Participants had the opportunity to play alongside Gulls players and coaches, with all proceeds benefiting the San Diego Gulls Foundation.
It's a big mission for us as an organization, is to be able to have community outreach, and events like this, help support the Gulls Foundation, which gives us the resources to go out and make a difference. It ends up being one of the biggest fundraisers for the San Diego Gulls Foundation, which is obviously an awesome cause, and it's a good chance to get sponsors, staff, and players all together.
In addition to the tournament, the Gulls held a silent auction during the course of the tournament with prizes such as team autographed jerseys, sticks, memorabilia, and other unique items.
Oh, it's so great. If we can do a part in all of this, just raise what we can. As a hockey player, you want to play hockey, be on the ice, but you want to help the community. You want to help the people that are in the stands looking for us, cheering for us. So I think it's great. We got some good players on the team. I've seen the Matt swing today. It's pretty good. Josh and Blake are pretty good. So Josh and Blake are my top two.
See it? Yeah. That's perfect. Right down the middle. You're going right at the sand trap, middle of the fairway.
That's insane.
Yeah.
600 shots. Who's trying to avoid being on the bottom?
I think it's gonna be me or Nasty. So he showed up in the flip flop. So yeah, we try to do our best.
Pavel said this is his first time playing golf ever. How do you think that's gonna go?
I think it's gonna go great. If he's positive, if he doesn't get frustrated with any shots, he's gonna have a good time.
And now part 2 of our sit-down interview with goaltender Alex Stalock.
February 1st, 2011, you make your NHL debut. You come in to relieve Antti Niemi. Take me through that day and what it was like to get on the ice in your first NHL action.
It was a bonus that night, not for Nemo or the team, but to be down 3-0, and Todd McClellan at the time looked down the bench and told me to get in there, and I still you can't believe it. Like, really, you want me to go in? And it's maybe the best way to go in. Right in the middle of it. You don't have time to think about it at night or the lead up to it. And went in there and maybe made like 2 or 3 saves, and again a period and a half. And San Jose put the pedal down, and I think we scored 5 that night. And you kind of get a feeling like, hey, I can play at this level, and now let's crank it up another level.
Team a win. How did this possibly feel? Well, it was unbelievable. They played unbelievable in the third, and that was a huge goal late in the second. But to go in and just get a chance and get some time, it was unbelievable, and to get a win's even better. Welcome to the big time. Thanks a lot. All right. That is Al Stalock as the Sharks win in dramatic fashion, 5-3. A very memorable first NHL game and win for 23-year-old Alex Stalock on a special night for the Sharks.
You go from the highest of highs, you go back to Worcester, and then the injury, cut by escape blade. What happened on that play, and in just the emotional sway going from NHL debut to that moment, how difficult was it?
You just make it to the NHL and you hear stories about how fun the road is, and I finally get to go on my first road trip, right? So we play that game at home, we go down to Anaheim, play a game there, and then we get ready for our road trip out east. And so our first stop was in Boston, and we had 2 days out there. So a couple of us went down to Worcester to get a game in. I got stepped on by a skate. It was just a fluky play on my stomach, and freezing the puck, and a guy went to jump over me and came up a little bit short, and stepped on my leg. And found out later that night that it was more than just a cut. It's not something you can really rehab at the time, so it was a lot of sitting around. And I still remember months into it, I'd start getting sensations that I never had in my leg, and slowly it started to feel like it was coming back. And it was kind of a blessing when I got back on the ice. It was my second year pro, so I finally got to slow things down with a goalie coach, and in a positive way, it really helped my game actually for 8 months to really focus on that part of the game, which is something you don't get at the end of the day. I look back and say that might have been the most beneficial 8 to 12 months of my career.
You had the opportunity to sign with the Minnesota Wild in an off-season. Is that a dream come true for you? What was it like to put pen to paper knowing you were going to play for your home state, for your home NHL team?
Right, it's an honor. Not many guys get to do it, to play for your hometown team. Chuck Fletcher called and there was an opportunity to come home to Minnesota and sign there, and the plan was to start in the American League and compete and find my game and get a chance to come up to the big club if I could find my game, and was able to put on the Wild sweater in St. Paul, and still to this day it's pretty amazing to be able to play for your hometown, and friends are there and family every night, or you get texts after games, everybody's watching it on TV around the state, and it's something I'll always remember.
Actually, Nick just showed me a picture of the back of your helmet. Are those pictures drawn by your kids? What was the inspiration?
So I started it years ago, I think, when I was in Minnesota, and when my kids were old enough, and I might have only had 2 at the time, but I said, why don't you draw a picture of yourself? I'll put it on the back of my helmet, and that's kind of how we started. Now they look forward to it every summer to recreate their image, and they're getting better. The stick figures are growing a little bit.
For anybody watching this interview, what is a message you would give them on when you face adversity, how to come through it?
Yeah, I think at the time it seems hard, but I think once you get through that and get out on the other side, that's where you really learn, and that's where I've learned that you can't quit, stick with it, and I think being honest with yourself, right, at the end of the day is huge. And at the end of the day, when my career does come to an end, I'll be able to sit back and be happy with how far I got with what could have been.
That'll do it for this show. Join us next time for a trip to the Midwest as we hit the road for Chicago and Milwaukee and take a bite at a local food scene. I'm Aaron Cooney. Thanks for watching Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union.